Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Zuck Family Letters, 1955 to 1970. This is based on Zuck Family Memories Collection, or ZFMC number 58, published on December 25th, 2001. And they include the letters of Gertrude Zuck Ray, my father's mother, Mary Zuck Freilich, my father's mother's sister, Harold Freilich, my father's cousin, and the son of Mary Freilich, and Barbara Freilich Smith, Harold's sister and Mary's daughter. So let's get started. The first letter is from Gertrude Zuck Ray, my father's mother. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio, Thursday, February 3rd, 1955. Dear folks, Ruth's entertaining letter and the negative came yesterday. We've been cold around the edges over here too, but so far no trouble with the gas. The pressure must be better than in Bay Village. Sorry, Ruth, about the explosion. Gas is really a dangerous element. You must have some low-grade infection traveling around in your system. Hope spring sunshine will chase it away. About the clock, we really don't want you to get it since you helped pay for the camera. I saw one in a gift shop in Michigan once, and if I see another like it, I'll get it. They must be rather scarce in the small size. If I can find one that cuckoos, that's the kind I'm looking for. Anyhow, there's no hurry, and we surely don't want you to bother about getting one. Carol won't need another rocking chair, that is, unless they have twins. Dave is so set on a boy. If they had twin girls, he would probably go into a decline. He has been so good about fixing up the house and will probably be the doting father. Carol is looking better too and has a wonderful appetite. She couldn't eat much at first, but is making up for it now. The slides came and some of them are really good. However, Doran took two at your house that weren't centered. They have just head and shoulders. We are keeping the punk ones in a reject envelope to help learn what, quote, not to do. Takes time. The light meter worked fine, and that is an accomplishment on the first try. We have another roll in the camera now. Doran has taken 3 shots on it, and there are 19 to go yet, so we think it would be fun to get a day's routine of Mark and Pamela on this roll. Maybe we could leave the camera with you and John, and you could get it some Sunday. What do you think of that idea? We were over at Dick and Perry's the other night. The children are fine, and Dick's mother is fixing up the house. They didn't get the measles. Probably the gamma globulin still was in effect. Whenever you want to come for the weekend, let us know. Shouldn't be too long before some nice days. Thanks again for the negative and the clock notices. Love, Mother. The next letter is from Gertrude Zuck Ray. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio, Friday, February 11th, 1955. Dear folks, Ruth's note was in the mail yesterday. Surely hope the throat is better by this time. Yes, I got home in fine time, about 6:45. I had to wait about 10 minutes for the bus. Had no trouble flagging him down. The bus stop is a short distance west of Huntmere on Lake Road. It's nice to know you can make such good connections. We had a good letter from Dick yesterday. He and Joan plan to spend Sunday, February 20th here. He is taking a class at Cleveland College on, quote, how to write business letters. Right at the present, Carol is getting a wisdom tooth. Her face is swelled up. The dentist says the x-rays show it is coming in straight. We had planned to drive to Marion tonight for Dad's birthday. Don't know now whether we can make it. Snow and cold this morning. I didn't enjoy Tuesday. Doran told me Mark wasn't supposed to get into his closets upstairs. Well, Grandma led him astray on that one, for we did have a great time exploring up there. Hope you are feeling lots better now. Love, Mother. And the next letter is from Gertrude Zuck Ray. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio, Sunday, April 10th, 1955. Dear John and Ruth, we wish you could see the lovely Easter flowers you sent. Lilies, 3 in bloom and 5 buds. They will make the house fragrant for a week. I put them on the mantel, and that is all the decoration it needs. The floral telegraph service between Cleveland and Sandusky is highly satisfactory. These flowers are so fresh. Thanks ever so much. We decided to go to Marion yesterday afternoon. Dave and Rachel were in Marion for the weekend, and Sunday was probably pretty full for Dad and Mother. Dad is so frail, apparently can't travel anymore. His morale is fine, though. He laughed and had a good time just before we left last night. We had a fine dinner at Helen's. Steve was home, and we listened to his new hi-fi record player. He looks much better since he is back at Wesleyan. Helen is having 2 young teachers move in with her today, both attractive girls, and Steve was anticipating that. Doran and I went to church this morning, had dinner out, and Doran played golf this afternoon. Carol and Dave were here for a while, too. Did you see the announcement of Joan and Dick's engagement in today's Plain Dealer? We thought it was written up well and the picture nice and clear. I called Dick, and he said they didn't know it would be in today. When we were home yesterday, a big box of camellias, roses, and orange blossoms came from Tom. Mother and Dad were so delighted. There was a corsage of coral camellias for Mother. Tom can be proud of his flowers. They were lovely. This has been the kind of Easter we always order. Summer weather and outdoors bursting with bloom. Doran took some outdoor slides. We sent in a roll tonight. Thanks again for the flowers and Easter greetings. Love, Mother. This is a letter from Gertrude and Doran Ray. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio. Easter Sunday, April 10th, 1955. Dear Mark and Pamela, the postman brought Grandpa and me those lovely Easter cards. Woolly lambs and fuzzy bunnies, and we do like them. We saw lots of real little lambs on the way to Marion. We hope you have a fine Easter day. Love, Grandma and Grandpa. And the next letter is from Gertrude Zuck Ray. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio. Monday, May 9th, 1955. Dear folks, it's so good that John's leg is fixed and progressing with no pain. Congratulations to Pamela, too, on the new tooth. I hope the cold is much better by now. Yesterday afternoon, one of Carol's high school friends gave a concert, and I went, accompanied by the new rose bag and gloves. I do like them, and the bag is almost a match for my long coat. Then, too, the Mother's Day card came. With all you had going on, it was unexpected and truly appreciated. Dick called just after you had hung up. He and Joan had house cleaned their apartment yesterday. They are tired and dirty, but full of enthusiasm about it. If they can keep fixing up for the next 3 weeks, it should be ready to move into when they return from their honeymoon. Carol was here for a while yesterday, has her suitcase packed. I told her she would probably still be waiting until May 31st. We will be seeing you Friday, are looking forward to a big weekend. Love, Mother. And the next letter is from Gertrude Zuck Ray. 1407 Marlborough Street, Sandusky, Ohio. July 10th, 1955. Dear John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela, our letter correspondence has really fallen by the wayside these last weeks, so it was especially good to read Ruth's letter when I came home today. Mark's expanding menu just warmed my heart. After all, mice get along on cheese sandwiches, so Mark's out of that class now. Mark? We just feel we are missing out on Pamela's growing up. Helen has been telling me how cute she was up at Glen Lake. She thought it was so much fun, too, to wake up in the morning and see Mark's bright eyes in the bed next to hers. She said you two just left the cottage spotless and in perfect order, so all in all, I think she enjoyed your vacation, too. Dad has shown remarkable improvement these past few days, was eating at the kitchen table this morning. Ted put him on some new medicine, cut out all the heart medicine. This new medication is Novotrine, has atropine in it that clears away the phlegm in the esophagus, so now he can eat and drink, isn't starving and choking. We think if his nourishment improves, he can be here for some time, and we hope in comfort. Ted thinks he has had digitalis poisoning. He had been taking it since that attack he had several months ago. Pauline is on night duty, and Helen is there for the next few weeks. Lenore and Mary are in and out. It really takes two people besides Mother when Dad is as ill as he was a week ago. We know he is still very ill and so feeble, but apparently in no pain. We're keeping in touch, and I may go down again soon. Each day is unpredictable. Doran has been getting along fine here. Think he is tired of eating out so much, though. He is out playing golf this afternoon. I had a ride back to Sandusky this morning with John and Nell, so he didn't have to make the trip to Marion today. We brought back a wedding gift for Joan and Dick, so took that over to the cottage this morning. One of the big water poplars in front of their cottage blew down in a violent storm over there Friday night, so that will have to be cut up and taken away soon. Joan said she wouldn't tell her parents until they returned from Florida. It would worry them, and they couldn't do much about it at that distance. Mark and Pamela could have a great time over there. Several little beaches in front of the cottage and a big yard. The water is safe, too, and shallow, and lots of rocks and trees to play around. We stopped in to see Lisa this morning on the way home from the cottage. She has grown and changed in just 1 week, and her hair is getting much lighter. It's growing, too, and Carol has been using Nestle's baby curl to keep it in tow. You would never know she belonged to Carol, just not a feature like hers. Carol and Marjorie Winnery O'Malley are driving down to Springfield to Jane Rogers' wedding soon. You remember Jane at Carol's wedding? Then she is serving at Marilyn Hayer's wedding reception in August, and this coming weekend is being initiated into this non-academic sorority in Sandusky. I think Marge Freilich belonged to that in Marion. Doran had the lawn mowed, and the yard was beautiful and green this morning. There have been wonderful rains this past week, and this afternoon is bright and clear. It's good to be home for a few days and sort of catch up. We'll be looking forward to seeing those proofs of Pamela. Hope the evergreens thrive. Love, Mother. And the next letter is from Mary Zuck Freilich. This would be Gertrude's sister. 387 Blaine Avenue, Marion, Ohio, Friday, September 18th, 1959. Dear John and Ruth, instead of having a very dull 2 hours in Cleveland, as I had expected, I enjoyed every minute of my stay there, thanks to you, John. I do so much appreciate your kindness and still marvel at all we got done in such a brief time. I'm sorry I looked like something the cat dragged in. This is just how I felt Monday night after losing the previous night's sleep. However, I slept the clock around Monday night, so was back to normal Tuesday. Marge Zuck was operated on for gallstones yesterday. She is quite sick. There was one large gallstone and 13 little ones, and gangrene had set in. She is in room 415, St. Joseph's Hospital, Orange, California. Vonnie and Frederick are keeping little Teddy. Mama is going to call Tom tomorrow morning if they do not hear today. I hope Joan is coming along all right, and that the baby is gaining in strength each day. I will try to write them soon. Again, thanks for your kindness, and remember, you all have a standing invitation here for dinner when you come to Marion. Love, Aunt Mary. The next letter is from Harold Freilich, my father's cousin, and the son of Mary Freilich. January 31st, 1963. This is from Portland, Maine. Dear Gertrude, your letter of January 24th was much appreciated. Your very kind remarks and expressions were so nice. Somehow it is words and recognition such as this that helps to make the continual day-to-day grind worthwhile. Thanks so much for your lovely note. I talked to Mother on the phone yesterday. She sounds quite peppy and seems to be adjusting very well. I know she is trying very hard. I have to believe that somehow things will work out all right for her in Marion. We had about an 8-inch snowfall over the weekend here in southern Maine. This week we are having beautifully clear, sunny winter days. If you like the winter season, this is a glorious place to live, as our days are usually very pleasant. I was just thinking the other day that we will, as of tomorrow, have been here 4 years. It hardly seems possible, And yet as I look at Debbie and Terry, I realize that the years are going by pretty fast. This year in itself, so far as the school year is concerned, is half over. It really doesn't seem possible. Time does fly, and soon our children will all three be in college. Marge and I have pretty much adopted the philosophy that we must enjoy activities and participation in things with our children now, because the years in which we can take part in their activities will be passed all too quickly. Thanks again for the lovely letter. I'm going to save it as one of my cherished possessions. Give my regards to Doran. Sincerely, Harold. And the next letter is from Harold Freilich in England. Christmas 1966 from Royal Leamington Spa, Warwickshire, England. Merry Christmas from merry old England. As you can see by the address, this year the Freilichs have made another major move. In May, I resigned as general agent for Massachusetts Mutual in Maine and accepted a challenging position with the American Life Insurance Company. My assignment to move to the Midland area of England and start a completely new agency, hiring and training English agents to sell insurance to the English people. The American Life Insurance Company of Wilmington, Delaware, has sales agencies in 51 countries throughout the world, but no English agencies in the United Kingdom. Marge, Debbie, Mike, and I sailed from New York on the SS United States on July 15th. We have purchased a home in the city of Royal Leamington Spa, a city of about 45,000, which is located 7 miles from Coventry, where I have my office. The English people we have met have been delightful, very friendly, and most helpful. This move represented a major adjustment for Mike in regard to his school. Instead of being a sophomore at the Cape, he is now in the upper 5th form at Warwick School, one of the oldest, founded in 914 by Edward the Confessor, and best, so we've been told by the educational trusts in England. Mike has 10 subjects as compared to 5 in the States, goes to school 6 days a week, and has taken up a new sport, rugby, which he finds quite rough. Terry spent the summer studying German at the Goethe Institute in Brilon, Germany. At this branch of the institute, there were 125 students from all over the world, and in most cases German was the only common language, so it was quite necessary to become proficient. For 3 weeks before school started, he traveled in France, Spain, Italy, and Switzerland, and this added to the excitement of the summer immeasurably. He stopped in England for 10 days on his way back to the States in his junior year at Wesleyan University. Debbie graduated from Cape Elizabeth High School. She was 3rd in her class in June. She was with us here in England for a month, then returned to the States August 20th to complete the final preparations for college. She is at Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts, and from the tone of her letters, she seems very happy at Smith and is apparently making a good adjustment to college life. Our new home on the ocean in Maine was completed May 1st. We started building the house in October, prior to any consideration of the move to England. We moved in May 1st and out July 10th. This was one of the most difficult aspects of our move, leaving our dream house and its beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean. However, we were fortunate in that we were able to leave the house to a very nice couple, both doctors. They had just recently come to Maine and wanted to lease a house for a couple of years before building their own home. Since we still have the house waiting for our return, we feel we have retained our roots in Maine. Trying to get the new sales agency started here in Coventry. Incidentally, my office address is Executive Suite, Station Tower, Station Square, Coventry. Has occupied my time fully. I have found that the English, concerning all aspects of business, do not move nearly as fast as we do in the States. Marge has been very busy buying furniture. We didn't bring any with us, making curtains and doing all of the many things connected with starting a new home. All of us have been trying to meet people and make friends, and attempting to adjust to some of the different methods and procedures that come with living in a different country. And now Marge, Mike, and I are eagerly anticipating December 15th, when Terry and Debbie arrive for the Christmas holidays. We are going to Zermatt, Switzerland for a week of skiing over the holidays. We are looking forward to trying the Swiss slopes. All the Freilichs wish for you a very healthy, happy, and prosperous 1967. May God look over and care for you during the coming year. Marge and Harold. P.S. Letters at the above address would be graciously received by the Frelicks in far-off England anytime during 1967. And here's a letter from Barbara Fralick Smith, Harold's sister. 1081 Kingwood Drive, Marion, Ohio, Thursday, June 5th, 1969. Dear John and Ruth, we're so happy that you're planning to go to the wedding. We are leaving Tuesday the 10th, spending the night in Oberlin with Helen, then all taking off Wednesday morning for Maine. Helen is going with us, and we plan to spend several days with Steve and Connie on the way home. Mike graduates on the 13th, so we will go to both events in the Fralick household. I don't know what to suggest for a gift. We are giving Debbie money. She doesn't need the usual, as the young man has a house with all the trimmings. His mother, who is a widow, has gone to Florida to live and has left them the family home, so I fear I'm not much help. Maybe you should wait and see after being there what they need. I am wearing a blue sheath street dress and Bill just a dark suit. Can't believe Deb is old enough for this step. All the Fralicks seem delighted with the young man. It'll be nice to see you, and I know the Fralicks will be delighted. Love, Barbara. And the next letter is from Harold Fralick from, I think he's back in the U.S. June 20th, 1969. Dear Ruth and John, thank you so much for your letters. We were sorry that it was not possible for you to come to the wedding. I know how difficult it would have been to plan your trip for that date during the middle of the week. The wedding was very lovely. Being the proud father, I can say that Debbie was a beautiful bride. It was so wonderful to have Barb and Bill and Helen here for this occasion. You asked for suggestions as to a possible gift. I have chatted with Debbie and John, and one suggestion we could make is bath towel, face towel, and washcloth sets. This is one thing Deb and John do not have and have not received, so I know that this item would be much appreciated. The colors could be any one of three: yellow, orange, or avocado. Even though the wedding is now past and but a memory, I don't think that I have yet adjusted to the fact that our family is really breaking up. It doesn't seem possible that the children are grown and leaving home. We probably will be seeing you sometime during the first week in August. We plan to come to Ohio during that week with an English couple who are going to be visiting us for the month of August. Helen plans to have a family get-together in Oberlin one afternoon during the time we are there. Thanks again for your nice letters and best wishes. It was good to hear from you. We send all our love, Harold. And here's a letter from Barbara Fralick Smith, Harold's sister. 1081 Kingwood Drive, Marion, Ohio, Saturday, July 25th, 1970. Dear John and Ruth, we were so glad to get the letter and learn that Lakeside was still, quote, on. Carol and Dave were here over the 4th, and at that point feared we'd have to give it up this year. We do appreciate how much time and effort you have put into locating a cottage. I am sorry to report that we are both returning to school this year on August 31st, so we can't come until Friday night, but we will certainly be there then about 5:30. Harold and Marge are in Europe now, but are due back August 2nd. The last I talked to them, they were planning to come to Lakeside. We have been living on the golf course the past few weeks. Bill's game isn't too good this year, but we're both benefiting from being out and losing weight. Love, Barbara. And now here's something from the memorial service for Lenore Zuck Hughes, Gertrude's sister, who died in 2001 at age 94. It's a poem. The author's unknown. To those I love and those who love me, when I am gone, release me, let me go. You have so many things to see and do. You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy that we had so many years. I gave you my love. You can only guess how much you gave me in happiness, and I thank you for the love you each have shown. But now it's time I traveled on alone. So grieve a while for me, if grieve you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on. So if you need me, call and I will hear. Though you can't see or touch me, I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you'll hear all of my love around you, soft and clear. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile and welcome home. Now we have the menu from the Abigail Tea Room at Lakeside, Ohio on August 28th, 2001. They had soup of the day, a cup or a bowl, and the entrees were baked meatloaf with mushroom gravy, baked spaghetti, stuffed green pepper, baked Swiss steak, farm-raised catfish with tartar sauce, Lake Erie walleye pike, French fried shrimp with cocktail sauce, breaded veal cutlet with tomato sauce, chicken breast fillets with barbecue sauce, and a choice of two from mashed potatoes, scalloped potatoes, lionized carrots, buttered peas, please John Lacey, applesauce, cucumber marinade, and a choice of salad, either tossed or pear and cottage cheese. Also a hot roll and butter and a beverage. The homemade pies and pastries include fresh rhubarb, fresh peach, toasted coconut cream, red raspberry, Boston cream, fresh apple, cherry, apple crisp with cream, and brownie a la mode. They also had Toff's ice cream and sherbets, vanilla moose tracks, green mint, chocolate chip, rainbow sherbet, and chocolate sundae. Now we have a comment on this presentation from John S. Ray, my father. Quote, Dear Editor, the picture on the front cover of ZFMC 58 is priceless. Grandma Zuck looking at Grandpa Zuck while he's reading the Bible to her. Wonderful. Hope you send a copy of ZFMC 56 to Marge and Harold. In view of Harold's recent death, this issue would probably be much appreciated by Marge. What a lovely letter Harold sent to my mother on January 31st, 1963. An extremely interesting letter from Harold Freilich in England in 1966. What a wonderful experience that was for their whole family. Another great letter from Harold about Debbie's wedding. The poem at the end of Lenore's memorial service is one of the most touching things I've ever read. To those I love and those who love me. Please send a copy of ZFMC 58 to Marge Freilich if you have not already done so. Keep up the good work. Love, Dad. John S. Ray, Rocky River, Ohio. So that concludes today's presentation of Zuck Family Letters, 1955 to 1970. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history if this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.